is Jordan, which is kind of annoying this question, but now that LeBron is the all-time leading scorer in NBA history with over 39,000 point careers, also ranking top 5 in assists and still climbing rankings in rebounds, blocks, and steals, all while consistently playing 20-plus seasons at an elite level for an old man, winning 4 championships, 4 MVPs, and making 19 All-NBA teams. Who is better, Jordan or LeBron?
You know, those are some incredible stats.
They are.
Those are some incredible stats. I'm never going to say anything bad about LeBron, I told you. I think he's the 3rd best player I've ever seen play after Michael and Kobe. It's just different eras. I love LeBron. I'm not going to say anything bad about it.
In the team's best interest, in your best interest to play all 82. Is that something you thought about at all since you made the goal?
Maybe that's a goal, but we'll see. But I don't. It's something I ain't discussing right now.
Stuff like this. Is there many things you lean on to try to?
And I had a teammate. He says, "You twist your ankle, young fella. Come over and sit with me. You know, this is you need to." I said, "No, man. I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. You know, I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want to make an impact."
And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
A die-hard LeBron James fan stepped up to Charles Barkley, armed with stats, accolades, and unshakable confidence, convinced the numbers alone would prove his point. What followed, though, slowly tore his argument apart piece by piece. And it didn't just come from Barkley. Michael Jordan, in a completely separate moment on NBC, had already said things that ended up dismantling every point the fan tried to make. That's what makes it even more ruthless. Jordan wasn't there, didn't respond to the fan, and had no idea this exchange even happened. Yet his public comments completely undercut the entire pro-LeBron case without ever mentioning anyone involved. By the time you hear what Jordan revealed about his mindset and his views on today's players, it becomes clear why a stats-only argument for LeBron doesn't hold up when you compare it with people who actually watch both players dominate in their primes. The moment happened during a fan Q&A with Barkley, when a guy, ironically named Jordan, walked up to Mike. Right away, you could tell he came prepared. He had the energy of someone delivering a final argument in court, fully convinced he had an unbeatable case. He started firing off numbers rapidly. Over 40,000 career points, making LeBron the NBA's all-time leading scorer. Top 5 in assists, with rankings still rising in rebounds, blocks, and steals. 22 seasons at an elite level for championships, 4 MVPs, and 21 All-NBA selections. Each stat hit like a heavy punch, and the crowd started reacting. Because on paper, that resume feels almost impossible to argue against. Going up against the league's all-time leading scorer, who's also top 5 in assists, sounds like a losing battle. And trying to dismiss over 2 decades of consistent dominance doesn't seem any easier. After laying it all out, the fan essentially challenged Barkley to explain how anyone could match that level of achievement. That's when everything changed. Barkley paused, with the expression of a teacher about to break down a concept a student thought they had already mastered. And his first response caught the fan completely off guard. He didn't criticize LeBron at all. He acknowledged the greatness, said the stats were incredible, called LeBron one of the best he's ever seen. But then came the turning point, the first major point that shifted the entire conversation.
It's just different eras. I love LeBron. I'm not going to say anything bad about him. He didn't go to college for 3 years. You have to factor that in also. He had a 3-year head start on Michael. Okay, since you want me that. So, I'm going to just give a couple of things about, if he wanted to do it fair, he would say, well, how many games did Michael Jordan play compared to LeBron?
Barkley then pointed out a key detail that often gets overlooked. LeBron came straight into the NBA at 18, skipping college entirely, while Jordan spent 3 years at North Carolina before entering the league. That gave LeBron a built-in head start of 3 to 4 seasons right from the beginning. Because of that, All of LeBron's career totals include thousands of extra points, rebounds, and assists, numbers Jordan never had the chance to rack up since he was still playing at the college level during those years. Then Barkley shifted perspective with one simple question. If you really want a fair comparison, why not measure what each player did over the same number of games? When you look at it that way, the raw totals tell a very different story. Over an equal number of games, Jordan actually scored around 5,000 more points than LeBron, something that gets completely hidden when you only focus on overall career totals. To put that into context, 5,000 points is roughly the equivalent of 2.5 full NBA seasons of scoring.
And actually, if you look at the numbers, Michael actually had 5,000 more points in his career, same number of games. 5,000, which is 2.5 NBA seasons. But you have to factor in, Michael went to college for 3 years. And if you remember, he broke his foot his first year, and he retired for 2 years. So if Michael went to the NBA 3 years sooner, not missed his rookie year with a broken foot, and not retired for 2 years, he would be the all-time leading scorer.
Barkley didn't stop there. He kept building on his point. He reminded everyone that Jordan broke his foot in just his second season and missed nearly the entire year. On top of that, he stepped away from the NBA for 2 full seasons to play minor league baseball. Take those years into account, and the whole comparison starts to look very different. If Jordan had entered the league at 18 like LeBron, avoided that early injury, and never left for baseball, there's a strong case he'd be the all-time leading scorer today instead of LeBron. At that moment, the fan had no real counter. The logic was hard to argue with. Once you adjust for the extra time LeBron had to build his totals, the gap doesn't just shrink. It can actually flip the other way. But Barkley wasn't finished. He brought up another stat, one that had recently come up on Inside the NBA, and even he seemed surprised by it. This one completely shifts how people think about longevity. Michael Jordan recorded 562 games, scoring 30 or more points in just 15 seasons. LeBron, even after 22 seasons, sits at 559 such games. That means despite playing 7 additional years, he still hasn't surpassed Jordan in those high-scoring performances. That stat hits hard because it challenges the idea that playing longer automatically makes someone greater. Then there's scoring average. Jordan holds the highest in NBA history at 30.1 points per game, while LeBron averages 27.0, still elite, but clearly lower. Jordan also captured 10 scoring titles during his career, compared to just 1 for LeBron. When you stack all of that together, the all-time scoring record starts to look different. LeBron didn't pass Jordan by being a more dominant scorer on a per-game basis. He got there by staying in the league longer. And those are 2 very different kinds of accomplishments.
Can I say one thing?
Sure.
Did you ever look at how many shots Michael Jordan took and how many shots LeBron took?
I did not.
Michael Jordan.
They were both gunners.
Michael Jordan took way more shots.
Well, that was his job.
About winning championships.
And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
At this point, Barkley's argument moved past stats and into an area that really challenges LeBron supporters. Because numbers stop being the main focus, the discussion shifts to how each player built their legacy. Michael Jordan's championship success came with one franchise, the Chicago Bulls. They drafted him, and early on, he had to battle through tough playoff losses, especially against the Detroit Pistons. Instead of leaving for an easier situation, he stayed and figured out how to beat them. What followed was historic. He helped turn Chicago into the defining dynasty of the 1990s. 6 championships in 8 years, built around the same core, without ever leaving when things got difficult. LeBron James took a very different path. After 7 seasons with the Cleveland Cavaliers without a title, he made the decision and moved to the Miami Heat, teaming up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. That move changed the league, essentially launching the modern super team era where stars joined forces to chase championships. When things started declining in Miami, LeBron returned to Cleveland and pushed for a trade to bring in Kevin Love. Later, he moved again, this time to the Los Angeles Lakers, and partnered with Anthony Davis. In total, That's 4 franchises and 3 different championship setups. Teams he either joined or helped build. It paints a very different picture compared to Jordan's one-team dynasty. Barkley has been consistent about this for years, ranking Jordan first, Kobe Bryant second, and LeBron third, largely because of this pattern which he describes as team stacking. Even Julius Erving has echoed similar sentiments, leaving LeBron off his top 2 for the same reason, pointing to his role in forming these rosters. The common counter is Scottie Pippen, but Barkley's argument draws a clear distinction. Pippen wasn't recruited by Jordan. He was drafted by the Bulls through their own system. And when Jordan kept losing to Detroit, he didn't leave. He stayed until he overcame them. Building a championship team through the draft isn't the same as selecting co-stars through free agency or trades. After all of this, someone asked a fan one final question. Forget the stats for a moment. In a Game 7, with everything on the line, who are you choosing, LeBron, Jordan, or Kobe? Despite everything Barkley had laid out, the fan didn't hesitate. He still chose LeBron.
So and let me tell you something. LeBron, we compare him favorable to Magic Johnson. He's a more of a triple threat than Michael was. I'll agree with that. But let me ask you a question. I want you to be honest with me in your heart.
All right.
If you had one game and you said, I need to win Game 7, would you want LeBron, Michael, or Kobe in one game win all?
LeBron.
Okay.
And here's where things take an interesting turn, because that answer actually ends up reinforcing Barkley's argument more than helping LeBron's case. Michael Jordan never even needed a Game 7 in the finals during his championship runs. Across 6 trips to the finals, not a single series went the distance. He closed teams out before it could get that far. 6 appearances, 6 championships, and 6 finals MVPs. A flawless record on the biggest stage. Take the 1993 finals against the Phoenix Suns. Jordan averaged 41 points per game for the entire series. That's not exaggerated. That's how dominant he was when everything was on the line. LeBron's finals history looks different. LeBron James has reached the finals 10 times, which is an incredible achievement by itself. But 6 of those ended in losses, including 3 against the Golden State Warriors. A 4-6 record means more finals losses than wins. The usual counter is that making the finals and losing is still better than not making it all. And there's some truth to that. But the flip side is this. Jordan made it to the finals 6 times and won every single time. He never gave anyone a chance to label him a loser on that stage, because he simply didn't lose when it mattered most. Then things shifted to something more recent. NBC brought back NBA coverage after more than 20 years, and made a huge move by bringing Jordan in as a special contributor. Jordan isn't someone who speaks publicly very often. For years, he's mostly stayed out of the spotlight, focused on business and his brand, rarely offering real basketball commentary. So when NBC announced he'd be sharing his thoughts, people paid attention. His first segment was fairly expected, talking about legacy, giving back, and how much he misses competing. But when the second segment aired, the tone changed completely. The topic was load management, and Jordan didn't hold back at all.
882. What do you think of when you hear the term load management thrown around?
It shouldn't be needed, first and foremost. You know, I never wanted to miss a game because it was an opportunity to prove. It was something that I felt like, you know, the fans are there to watch me play. I want to impress that guy.
Jordan didn't hold back on the topic. According to Michael Jordan, load management shouldn't even be part of the game. He explained that every single night on the court was a chance to prove yourself. But then he took it deeper, and that's where it really hit. He started talking about the fans, especially the ones sitting high up in the cheapest seats. The people who worked for years just to afford one ticket to see him play. Those were the fans he had in mind every time he stepped on the floor. For him, it wasn't just about personal performance. It was about responsibility, about not letting down someone who might only get one chance in their entire life to watch him live. Think about that for a moment. Jordan was essentially saying that when you're earning millions, there's an obligation to the people who pay to see you. If you're healthy enough to play, then you play. No excuses, no rest nights, no load management. And then he brought up something that feels almost unreal by today's standards. Back then, there was something known as the love of the game clause in contracts. It allowed players like Jordan to do things that would never fly in today's NBA. If he was driving around and spotted a random pickup game happening on the street, he could literally stop, join in, and play. And even if he got injured doing it, his contract would still be fully guaranteed.
How did that love of the game fuel your career?
It was the basis of my career. My love of the game within my contract, which, I'm pretty sure most contracts now, I'm actually positive now, don't have that clause within the contract where
You had a clause in your contract.
love of the game contract, that if I was driving with you down the street and I see a basketball game on the side of the road, I can go play in that basketball game. And if I get hurt, my contract is still guaranteed. I love the game so much that I would never let someone take the opportunity for me to play the game.
And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Does LeBron James' longevity really stack up against Michael Jordan's peak dominance? Or does that perfect finals record settle the debate once and for all? If this breakdown made you see things from a new perspective, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe, because we're just getting started diving deep into the biggest debates in basketball.